Now at 5:30 today, family and friends will say goodbye as a 6-year-old boy is laid to rest after becoming the victim of a very awful murder.
Also on WKYT this morning, a man arrested for robbing a Lexington bank may be responsible for a string of robberies. We'll have the latest from police on that coming up.
The FBI continues to search for clues following the mass shooting in San Bernardino, California. The latest on the investigation just ahead.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Well, good morning to you and welcome in. Great to have you with us on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a good start to your day. It's going to be so nice to have a nice warm weekend.
It is. I thought you were going to say the day. It's Friday.
And that's good
You're
as well.
right.
Yeah.
Weekend does look amazing. Let's check in with Micah for that. We could make some history, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Historically warm air sliding on in this weekend. Today's, honestly, is not something to bat an eye at. We're looking up toward the north, seeing a few sprinkles here and there. That's sliding northbound, so it's not really affecting many of us, only in the northeastern quadrant. Then you look out and you span out. Here comes some more clouds. Here comes another system. But that warm air is going to be the key, and it's going to be the focus of the forecast the next few days. 50s right now, almost 60s outside. You will not need a heavy coat once you step out the door this morning, afternoon. You won't need a coat at all. It's 66 degrees. That is 20 degrees above average. We could possibly, and it's a possibility, possibly be 30 degrees above average once it's all said and done there for the weekend in a couple of spots. I'll show you that and also talk about this rain headed our way coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Micah. And in the news, hearts will be heavy in Woodford County today as friends and family members will be gathering to say their last goodbyes to a 6-year-old little boy who was killed earlier this week. Versailles
police say Logan Tipton was murdered by a man from Indianapolis. That's the suspect in this during a seemingly random home invasion Monday morning. Hundreds gathered as his visitation last night. More expected to be gathering today as well. Mike Byer is live in Versailles, where there's been a big show of support there.
That's right, guys. If it's like anything yesterday, like his visitation, there should be plenty more people here today to say goodbye to Logan at his funeral service. I'm in front of the Falling Springs Recreation Center, and just behind that sits Community Stadium Field, where later this morning his loved ones will have a chance to say goodbye to 6-year-old Logan Tipton. Now, there's been no shortage of people reaching out and stepping up to show their support for the family. That's expected to continue this morning as hundreds are expected to attend his funeral service. It begins at 11 a.m. on the football field where he once played. Those close to Logan say he loved playing the sport, which only makes it suiting that his funeral service is held right here. Now, a GoFundMe account has been set up to help with Logan's funeral expenses and to help the family move into a new home. So far, nearly $50,000 has been raised in just 3 days. That is amazing to see. For now, live in Versailles, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Well, the community has certainly come together in this adverse situation over there. Thank you very much, Mike. And this morning, we're getting our first look at a man who police say robbed a Lexington bank.
Police were able to arrest the suspect shortly after he robbed a bank on Tates Creek Road yesterday. Now in custody, police think he may be responsible for a string of bank robberies dating all the way back to May. Michelle Chamberlain is live for us this morning to explain.
Yeah, Ronnie Birdsong is set to be arraigned here later today at the Fayette County Courthouse. He is accused of robbing 4 Lexington banks in an 8-month span. Now, police say Ronnie Birdsong held up the Central Bank on Tates Creek Road yesterday, but was caught a couple of miles away. According to court documents, the 47-year-old ran from police and broke into someone's home to try and hide. A witness telling us that at one point he was hiding in someone's garage. Police eventually found Birdsong on Yellowstone Parkway. Police say he also held up the Chase Bank on Richmond Road in May, the Community Trust Bank on Richmond Road, along with Fort Bank on Southland Drive. Both of those robberies happened in November. Birdsong is charged with 4 counts of robbery, 1 count of burglary, and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. Now, according to court documents, Birdsong confessed to yesterday's robbery. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you very much. And new this morning, a Lexington man is in jail and suspected of impregnating a 15-year-old girl. 25-year-old LeCuan Clark is charged with rape. Police say he chatted with the victim on Facebook and started having sex with her when she was 13 years old. According to his arrest citation, Clark lied to the victim about his age and said that he was 16.
A grand jury's decided not to indict a state police trooper in a deadly officer-involved shooting. Trooper Luke Pridemore shot and killed Stephen Brock in Knott County in October. The shooting happened when troopers responded to a complaint of Brock walking around Pine Top with a weapon and threatening to shoot people. Police say Pridemore fired when Brock made an aggressive motion towards them. The grand jury cited a lack of evidence in their decision.
The holidays can be hard on anyone, but especially hundreds of folks in Kentucky and West Virginia who are fighting to keep their federal benefits. Earlier this year, the Social Security Administration ordered nearly 1,800 people to attend hearings to determine whether they should continue receiving disability checks. Although many attended those hearings, some say the administration has still not contacted them about their status, letting them know about their benefits, whether they will be restored. Brian Clark of Johnson County says the financial uncertainty makes this Christmas season tougher than usual.
You want to spend it because it's your family and stuff like that, and you want to make a wonderful holiday for my daughter and my wife and stuff like that, but then you're kind of wondering next month if I get a check or not.
Clark said he draws disability benefits from a brain condition that he suffers from.
Former Massey Energy CEO Don Blankenship will be sentenced next year. A federal judge scheduled the sentencing for April 6th. A jury found Blankenship guilty of conspiring to violate safety rules when he was in charge of the Upper Big Branch mine. 29 men died in an explosion there in 2010. Blankenship can only travel to Pike County, Kentucky, southern West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. while he awaits sentencing.
A lake in San Bernardino, California is being searched by federal and local dive teams. The FBI says the San Bernardino killers, Saeed Rizwan Farouk and Tashfeen Malik, were in the area the day they killed 14 people. The pair died in a gun battle with police. And while the search is likely to take several days, the hunt is on for any evidence connected to the killings. Mary Maloney explains.
Tips led dive teams to this lake.
We will leave no stone unturned.
One thing investigators want to find, a missing hard drive. It may have information on Syed Rizwan Farouk and Tashfeen Malik's terrorist ties.
We are building a timeline of everything we know to ensure that we can retrace every step they took.
Investigators believe Farouk was connected to a radicalized group arrested in Riverside, California 3 years ago. In 2012, prosecutors charged 4 men with planning to blow up a U.S. military base in Afghanistan. But the FBI is only now learning Farouk was in the same social circle as the group's recruiter, Sohail Kabir. Earlier this year, Kabir was convicted and sentenced to 25 years in prison.
It shows that there is a network that is emerging very slowly for law enforcement and intelligence community folks.
FBI interviews with Farouk's friend, Enrique Marquez, revealed the pair plotted a terrorist attack in California in 2012. But Marquez told investigators they backed out when the Riverside group was busted. Marquez admits to buying 2 AR-15 rifles used in the San Bernardino attacks. Marquez has waived his rights and is cooperating and hasn't been charged. Marquez's family now cleaning up the mess after a federal raid. His mother saying Marquez is a good person who was friends with Farouk and nothing more. But 3 years after Marquez and Farouk's apparent plot, Farouk and his wife did attack.
The subject's last of Farouk, first of Syed.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Well, new this morning, 4 people are dead after a medical helicopter crashed in California. Debris from the helicopter was found in Kern County, about 130 miles north of Los Angeles. The SkyLife crew was transporting a critical patient when it crashed. The pilot, a flight nurse, a flight paramedic, and the patient all died. It's not clear what caused the helicopter to crash.
The number of overdose deaths from fentanyl is on the rise. A WKYT investigation has found that many of the victims do not even realize that they have taken it. Fentanyl is a powerful painkiller, 30 to 50 times more potent than heroin. It's cheaper, so many drug dealers use it in place of other substances. Jolene Bowman died of an overdose in Woodford County back on July 1st. Investigators say she thought she was getting a prescription pill.
Not that this makes it any better at all, but she was not getting what she thought she was.
The Versailles Police Department ended up charging 2 men with distributing fentanyl to Bowman. Bowman is one of 2 fentanyl overdose cases in Woodford County this year.
A downtown bar that closed temporarily last month will not be reopening. Natasha's Bistro and Bar shut down to allow the owner to consider ways to keep it open. After talking to musicians and others, the owner tells us, the Herald Leader, that they couldn't find a way to bring Natasha's back in its current form. The owner says he's been showing the space to potential renters. A Nashville restaurant group is actually eyeing and planning to look at that spot sometime this week.
All right, we'll keep a watch on that, see what happens, and check your refrigerator. More than 1 million bottles of Sweet Leaf iced tea has been recalled. It's due to fear that there may be more in them than just tea. The Sweet Leaf Tea Company is recalling 6 flavors of teas in 16-ounce glass bottles. The company is concerned that glass fragments may have made it into the products. So far, it has received 4 complaints about glass found in the teas. There have been no injuries. The flavors recalled include original, raspberry, half and half lemonade tea, green tea with citrus, peach, and mint and honey. They were all distributed between February 27th and December 6th of this year. Customers who bought the products can return them to the store for a refund. Hope they get that cured up. That sounds pretty refreshing there.
Seems like there's so many recalls these days.
Well, there are lots of, out of abundance of caution, obviously. Yeah. 5:40 now. It's 20 before 6 on WKYT this morning, and we're checking live drive traffic, and it looks like a pretty smooth commute heading in this morning, with the exception of this we now have in.
Yeah, a semi-crash has actually shut down part of I-75 southbound. The crash near mile marker 62. The Renfro Valley exit. Dispatchers say it's a non-injury accident, but southbound traffic is at a standstill.
We'll let you know when it reopens again. That is at mile point 62 there, Renfro Valley in Rockcastle County on I-75. So we'll keep you updated as we get additional details. A lot more news coming up for you Friday morning on WKYT.
Can you go the whole day without using the internet? It might be difficult. And a new study indicates that, yes, it is very difficult. We'll explain when we return.
All chances of rain the next couple of days, but it's a blast of warmth as we slide into your weekend. I'll show you how high we go with the temperatures and when that big front comes sliding on through, coming up next.